What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch with SC Weather. It is Wednesday morning. We got y'all an update here on this major Christmas storm that's going to affect the entire eastern coast here, the eastern U.S. With potential of white Christmas, which is an awesome thing for some, but a bad thing here is a severe weather threat that's going to be accompanied by this system, and this is going to be a powerful cold front, probably the most powerful cold front we've seen in a couple of years here in the eastern U.S. So let's get going into this. Before we get going, if you guys haven't subscribed, much appreciated if y'all do. That's been awesome to see the support here lately. So thank y'all for everything. Like the video if y'all like it, and follow along. I keep the area very updated, and I keep producing content. I try to do it daily, and I'm going to try to keep doing that if just life permits. But thank y'all for following along. Very active on Twitter, very active on Facebook. So let's get going into this. So this is the system we're dealing with. This is the GFS that's just coming in this morning. Not much has changed. This is getting to the point with this system when we stop looking at these operational models, long range models, GFS and stuff, and start really looking at short range. So that's kind of what we're going to break down here. But this is the system we got going on. Powerful trough digging here, going to put a big severe weather threat here in the eastern Carolinas. But the back edge where the cold air is trying to chase up with the moisture, you're definitely going to get a chance of a white Christmas in this stripe right here. And you know, it's going to be beautiful. I think it'll be a beautiful, nice wet snow. Few inches. It's not going to be anything disruptive. Now up here, Pittsburgh near Cleveland have a chance to get several inches of snow, but I still don't think it's nothing y'all can't handle up there. So here is the EPS ensembles for the percent chance of seeing an inch of snow. You're almost guaranteed it right here through almost the entire state of West Virginia, far western areas of Virginia, where the mountains are, eastern areas of Kentucky, about half of Ohio, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, maybe up to Buffalo. This is going to be an area, and it's definitely honed in an area in far eastern Tennessee, Knoxville, hopefully for you guys, maybe an inch or two. Gatlinburg is going to be a hot spot, I think. So I actually have some people who are going to be in Gatlinburg for Christmas, and I told them they could possibly see, well, they probably are going to see a white Christmas, so good for them. But you notice when you get east of the mountains here, really along the entire eastern U.S., chances drop off. But I am starting to like the idea of scattered flurries, especially here you guys in the Atlanta area, and maybe escaping a containment outside of east of the mountains here in the Carolinas. But we're going to watch this as cold air funnels in and squeezes out what little bit of moisture there is. So solid chance of snow. If you look here, we're going to jump over here. This is going to be the European model. Again, it's showing the same thing. Actually, the European model has came a little bit more bullish on the snow here. But I tell you what, for you guys in Knoxville, eastern Tennessee, the mountains of North Carolina, this is going to switch to rain to a heavy snow. So, and it's going to do it right at a good time around Christmas Eve. But as I mentioned, I really think this entire area right here is going to see a white Christmas. So we are going to get to experience that. I know up north that's probably not as big of a deal, but I do think some flurries even here in the south are going to break containment. So here you go. You got the snowfall accumulation occurs to the GFS. GFS really isn't that impressive, but I think there'll be a chance of a couple inches even here in Tennessee. But West Virginia, I've said it the last couple videos, is a hot spot for heavier snow. So we're going to watch them. This is the European model for snowfall. Notice that area I circled. This is going to be a stripe. Cleveland, I'm telling you, maybe some lake effect enhancement or something like that. You know, we're going to watch that. But Cleveland could get really buried here. Well, you know, I say buried, but, you know, maybe a foot of snow. We'll watch it. But the entire, especially the western spine of the mountains, you're going to even get more enhanced because some northwest flow. But, you know, notice Knoxville, Gatlinburg, a little smidget just around there, maybe a few inches, maybe 3 or 4 inches in Gatlinburg. And just the eastern areas of Tennessee is going to see an old-fashioned Tennessee white Christmas. So good for y'all guys. But this is I don't think the snow part of this is going to be disruptive at all. It'll be beautiful, I think. It's the severe weather threat that we're going to talk about that's going to be really disruptive. And so here you go, the EPS ensemble runs. And, you know, it's a strong signal. We're getting close now, and it's pretty much a guaranteed bet that we're going to see snow in this area as the cold air catches up with the moisture. So we're going to look at the NAM here. And the NAM, here you go, it's not going to be as impressive as far as showing the snowfall. But here we go right here. This is the snowfall falling off the NAM. So, you know, I wouldn't say impressive. It's actually looks a lot better for areas in Nashville and more in central Tennessee. But notice this stripe right here. I don't think there's going to be a stripe of an inch of snow here close to Atlanta. But that's basically showing me that there's going to be some flurries down here. And so this is a good snow for areas of the mid-Atlantic, I guess you would call the interior mid-Atlantic and the mid-South. So definitely a solid chance at a white Christmas for areas, even though the South. I still consider Tennessee kind of the South. So this is the HRRR model. Again, notice these stripes down here. That is just basically signifying to me that there's going to be some flurries, I think, in Atlanta. Maybe as you're waking up, but I really think right before the sun comes up, maybe in the early hours of the morning after midnight. I think there'll be some flurries dancing around even as far south as Atlanta. We're going to watch that for sure, but let's get into the severe weather threat because I think this is going to be potentially a big threat here. Slight risk, level 2 out of 5. That's significant, guys. That's you know, you think level 2 out of 5 that's not a big deal, but it is. And then you get the marginal risk going all the way back to Columbia, almost to Charlotte, Raleigh, big huge chunk of Florida. And I think the marginal risk back here is more so probably for a wind threat. This is going to be a tornado threat in yellow. You're going to get some energy that forms out of head of the main line of storms that I'm going to show you right here. And this is that energy popping off because you got higher cape that's trended higher. When you got high shear, low cape, normally that tells me you're going to get a big time wind threat and the tornado threat's going to be limited. But now you're getting some cape mixing into this in this area where it has a chance to really warm up here into the 70s, maybe dew points rising into the 60s, low 60s. It's getting kind of juicy out here. So you're going to get a chance for some spin-ups out here in mainly eastern North Carolina. And I don't think so much South Carolina, but you got to watch areas of Myrtle Beach, right, when these things start to spin up in Horry County. But here we go. So you can see the back edge snow. And this is where the tornado threat's going to be with these little spin-ups here. And look, it even more amplifies here. This area right here, not so much as this. This is going to be a big wind threat as it's moving through Columbia, South Carolina, Charlotte. There's going to be some strong winds accompanied with this line. But this is going to be an area where some quick spin-ups are going to happen. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I think there's a solid chance of it. So if you check it out here, at some point, late Christmas Eve evening, there's going to be a point where it's going to be tornado threat, severe storms in the far eastern North Carolina, and snowing in far western North Carolina, in the mountains of North Carolina. So it's crazy weather, especially happening on Christmas Eve. But I want to talk about the Cape here. This is what I'm talking about as we're getting into late Christmas Eve, into probably 5, 6, 7 o'clock. The Cape begins to rise. Cape is storm energy. And when you start to add this to the high shear environment, you get the potential for spin ups. And here it goes. But you know, if you notice, it's just a brief opportunity. It's not much, but the opportunity that's there is bad timing of the day. Bad timing is in good timing for tornadoes. So, you know, in a nutshell, when you add a little cape to high shear, sure enough, you're going to get a tornado threat. And here it is. This is the significant tornado parameter, and it rises briefly here in eastern North Carolina, even areas of eastern South Carolina, and even, you know, watch out Virginia too. I haven't mentioned them much in the video, but it rises to a 1 or 2, maybe a 3 here in areas. And, you know, when you start to rise up this bar right here, each number is significant. And, you know, and it really stinks this is going to happen on Christmas Eve, but it really sure enough is. And, you know, even outside, even in Maine, the front, this is the cold front. You can notice a stout cutoff here in the winds. Still breezy behind the front, obviously, but you can notice the cutoff. This is the front coming, even ahead of the front here in South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, eastern areas of Georgia. The winds are going to be howling all day Christmas Eve morning, Christmas Eve afternoon before the front comes. So, you know, when the front comes, the main threat with the front, the main threat is going to be high winds. You're probably not going to hear a lot of lightning and thunder or anything like that, see lightning or hear thunder. It's just going to be a couple hours of heavy rain and gusty winds, potentially winds that can blow a lot of stuff around. So don't have anything sitting out here. And obviously, wind threat increases here as we're getting a lot of convection blowing up here in North Carolina. So something we definitely need to watch. One thing I want to talk about here also briefly is the potential high temperatures for Christmas. I really think areas are going to go from, especially in South Carolina and Eastern Carolinas and Eastern Georgia, well, southeastern Georgia, you're going to go potentially from the highs around 70 to highs in the 30s in 24 hours. So it's incredible. You know, GFS wants to keep the entire state of Tennessee below freezing for Christmas. Wants to keep areas even here in Atlanta to Columbia to Charlotte in the 30s for highs to Raleigh. This is impressive. This is going to be the coldest air of the season by far, and it's going to fall right on Christmas Day. So these are very cold temperatures, really for any time of the year. So that's all I got, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'll probably have another video update later today, but hope you'll have an awesome day. Give the video a like if it was informative, if you enjoyed it, and thank you all for the support, and y'all have a blessed day.